If you have any doubts from the tomorrow's concept or something you want to ask, you can ask. Prem, do you want to ask something, dear students? Prem? Prem, do you want to ask something?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to ask? Ask me.
सर गलती से हो गया था.
Okay, okay. It's just by mistake. No problem. So, my dear students, can you see something on your screen? What do you see
Yes,
on
sir.
your screen, my dear
Yes,
students?
sir.
आप स्क्रीन पे क्या देख पा रहे हैं? You got to reply me, my dear students.
FeH2O6.
Okay, so you are clear with this.
H2O6 plus 3.
H2O6.
Thank you, my dear students.
H2O6.
Thank you, my dear students. Now we'll study about the FeH2O. FeH2O. We'll study about the FeH2O 3, FeH2O6 plus 3. So here H2O is a weak ligand. And as it is a weak ligand, it does not cause pairing. As it does not cause pairing, we can see that H2O has a 0 charge, and ultimately the oxidation state of iron would be plus 3 into this complex. So iron Z is equal to 26. The electronic configuration is argon 3d6 4s2. So Fe plus 3 would be 3 electrons are removed from 2 electron from 4s and 1 from 3d. Thus Fe plus 3 is going to be 3d5, 4s0, 4p0, 4d0. So in 3d orbital we have 5 unpaired electrons, and 4s, 4p, 4d are completely vacant. So using this 1 4s, 3p and 2d, sp3d2 hybridization is possible. So in this equal energy sp3d2 hybrid orbitals, water molecule donate their electron, and thus that is how they make the coordination covalent bond, and thus the FeH2O6 becomes an outer orbital complex, because inner 3d orbital has not been used, but outer 4d orbital is used. So it is an outer orbital complex. As we have 5 unpaired electron, it is a high spin complex. As we have 5 unpaired electron, mu b value would be 5.92 Bohr magneton. It is paramagnetic in nature because 5 electrons are unpaired. At the same time, we can see that it has got the octahedral shape, and you can see the figure in which I have explained you FeH2O6 plus 3, and inside the coordination entity we have explained the octahedral structure for FeH2O6. If we compare the mu b, that is the magnetic momentum, FeCN6 minus 3, mu b is 1.73 Bohr magneton. Sorry, dear students. And FeH2O6 plus 3, the mu b would be 5.92 Bohr magneton. Ultimately, my dear students, we have FeH2O6 plus 3 is a strongly paramagnetic, while FeCN6 is a weakly paramagnetic. This is what we can even understand from looking at the value of mu b. For FeH2O6, it is 5.92 Bohr magneton, whereas for FeCN6 minus 3, it is 1.73 Bohr magneton. Now we are going to study about NiNH3 plus 2, my dear students. NH3 here behave as a weak ligand and does not cause pairing, and that is why nickel Z is equal to 28, argon 3d8, 4s0. So we can calculate the oxidation state of nickel into the nickel NiNH3 plus 2. So here nickel would be available into plus 2 oxidation state, because my dear students, in plus 2 NiNH3 NH3 is a 0 oxidation state. So NiNH3 plus 2, nickel is in the plus 2 oxidation state, and that is why we can understand the plus 2 oxidation state of nickel. Nickel, zinc is atomic number is 28. So argon, it is argon 3d8, 4s2. When from nickel Ni plus 2 turns, 2 electrons are removed from 4s0. So we'll have Ni plus 2 argon 3d8, 4s0. Even we have this 4s0, 4p0 and 4d0 are also available, as they are vacant orbital, and thus we have 8 electrons present into the d orbital. As these 8 electrons are present into the d orbital, we have this these 6 electron are paired, so 3 orbital of 3d are paired, whereas 2 orbital of 3d are vacant. Then we have 4s, 4p and 4d. So you can easily understand about 4s, 4p and 4b electrons. Ni NH3 6 plus 2, when it is formed, NH3 become weak ligand, so it does not cause pairing. As Ni NH3 6 plus 2 does not cause any pairing, this sp3d2 hybridization takes place using the 1 4s orbital, 3p orbital and 2d orbital. Thus sp3d2 hybridization takes place, and due to the sp3d2 hybridization, we have got the NH3 6 as a outer orbital complex. 2 unpaired electrons are present, and that is why it is an high spin complex. It is paramagnetic in nature, and the Bohr and the magnetic moment mu b would be 2.84 Bohr magneton for this particular complex. The shape is going to be octahedral for this compound, which is known as the NiNH36. And here in the figure, you can see that I have explained you the octahedral shape of NiNH36 plus 2. So this is how, my dear students, we can understand about the complex NiNH36. Now we are going to study about an important complex which is known as the PTCN4 minus 2. Here PTCN4 minus 2. Here we have Cn minus. This Cn minus is a strong ligand. This Cn minus being a strong ligand cause pairing. We'll look at the electronic configuration of platinum. Platinum, the atomic number is 78. So we'll have xenon for F14, 5d9, 6s1. We can calculate the oxidation state of PT into this complex as a PT plus 2. So in this complex, we will have the oxidation state of PT as PT plus 2. We have seen the electronic configuration of PT, that is PT xenon for F14, 5d9, 6s1. If we remove 2 electrons, 1 electron goes from 6s and 1 electron goes from 5d, and that is how the electronic configuration for PT plus 2 we can write xenon 4F14, 5d8 and 6s0. My dear students, you can see that Cn minus is a strong ligand, and here in 5d we have 2 unpaired electrons. This Cn minus being strong ligand cause the pairing of these 2 electrons which are present into the 5d, and ultimately when PTCN4 minus 2 is being formed, this 5d has 4 orbital which are paired, 1 orbital which is vacant. So using this vacant 5d orbital and 1 6s orbital and 2 6p orbital, dsp2 hybridization takes place into PTCN4 minus, and as the hybridization is dsp2, my dear students, it is an inner orbital complex because inner d orbital 5d has been used for this purpose. It is a low spin complex because all the electrons are paired, and Cn minus has had caused pairing, and there is no unpaired electron, and that is why PTCN4 minus 2 is a diamagnetic in nature. Here you can see the hybridization is dsp2, and that is why we can represent PTCN4 minus 2 as a square planar compound, and here in the figure I have shown you the square planar PTCN6 minus 2. Now we are going to study one of the important questions which is given into your exercise, my dear students. The question says that the hexaequamanganese 2 ion contain 5 unpaired electron, while the hexacyano ion contain only 1 unpaired electron. Explain using the crystal field theory. So let us understand each compound separately so that we can understand it better. First, we have hexaequamanganese 2 ion, which is MnH2O6 plus 2. So here you can see that Mn plus 6S2 is equal to plus 2, and therefore the oxidation state of Mn is plus 2 here in this compound. The manganese, actually in the question itself it is given that hexaequamanganese 2. So we can understand that the oxidation state of manganese is plus 2 here. Thus manganese has 2 plus 2 charge. So manganese atomic number Z is equal to 25. Thus what happens that the argon 3d5 4s2, here if we remove the 2 electron from 4s, Mn plus 2 would be Mn+2 would be argon 3d5, 4s0, 4p0, 4d0. And this is how you can see that d orbital has got 5 unpaired electrons, which and 4s, 4p and 4d are being vacant. So using those vacant 4s, 4p and 4d orbital, my dear students, in case of using these vacant orbitals of 4d, 4s, 4p and 4d, my dear students, there is a possibility of sp3d2 hybridization. H2O is a weak ligand, so it does not cause any kind of pairing, and that is why this MnH2O6 plus 2 cause the sp3d2 hybridization. As the hybridization is sp3d2, this 6 orbital, sp3d2 6 orbital have been formed, and each water molecule donates its pair of electron into the sp3 sp3d2 hybrid orbitals, and that is how the the octahedral MnH2O6 plus 2 has been formed, which is represented into the figure. In this particular compound, the hybridization is sp3d2. It is an outer or orbital complex because the hybridization is sp3d2. Here we have 5 unpaired electron, and that is why it is a high spin complex. As we have the 5 unpaired electrons, it is paramagnetic in nature, and the magnetic momentum mu b is going to be 5.92 Bohr magneton. Then we have the another compound that to study about the hexacyanomanganese 2 ion. Here instead of H2O we have cyanide ligands, which are strong ligands, and they may cause pairing. So in hexacyanomanganese 2 ion we have Mn+2 as it is given into the question. So Mn+2 will be argon 3d5, 4s0, 4p0, 4d0, but Cn- being a strong ligand cause pairing here. As the Cn- ligands cause pairing, the 5 unpaired electron present in 3d, they got paired, but still as 5 is an odd number, 1 electron remains unpaired, but 2d orbital remains vacant. So using this 3d vacant 2 3d orbital, d2 sp3 hybridization got possible into MnCN6-4, and thus we get d2 sp3 hybridization. You can see that the octahedral shape of MnCN6-4 has been shown into the figure. The hybridization is going to be d2 sp3, so which is an outer orbital complex compound. It has low spin complex, and as it has got 1 unpaired electron, the mu b is going to be 1.73, and that is why it is paramagnetic in nature. Now, my dear students, if we get back to the question itself, let us look at the question once again. The hexacyanomanganese 2 ion contain 5 unpaired electrons. We have seen that hexacyanomanganese 2 hexaaqua manganese 2 ion has got 5 unpaired electrons. At the same time, if we think about the hexacyanoanion, we have seen that in hexacyanoanion we have only 1 unpaired electron present into it, and that is how we can answer the question very well, my dear students. Now we are going to study about CuNH3 plus 2 ion. Here you can see that NH3 has got 0 charge. It is a neutral ligand, and that is why the oxidation state of Cu is going to be Cu plus 2. So Cu, the atomic number 29, the electronic configuration is argon 3d10 4s1. But if you make Cu plus 2 from Cu, 2 electron needs to be removed. So 1 electron goes from 4s and 1 electron goes from 3d. So Cu plus 2 would be argon 3d9 4s0 4p0. As we have 9 electrons, 1 unpaired electron remains into the 3, whereas the 4 3d orbitals are completely filled. 1 4s and 3p orbitals are vacant. NH3 behaves as a weak ligand, thus does not cause pairing. So here you can see, my dear students, here NH3 becomes, or NH3 being a weak ligand, that does not cause pairing. Here we need to understand, to furnish D2 DSP2 hybridization, 1 electron from 3d is transferred to 4p. So please remember, this is an exceptional case, my dear students, that CuNH3 is considered to be the square planar ligand, and that is why this 1 unpaired electron remain present in 3d is being moved to 4p orbital. This is what it is a special case that can be explained with some other theory. That is what we are going to study about. This is what it is done according to the concept of transference. So let us first understand, or here according to the concept of transference, my dear students, one electron from 3D orbital, you can see that it has been moved to the 4p orbital, and that is why using this vacant 3D orbital, one 4s orbital and two 4p orbital, CuNH3 4 plus 2 undergoes the dsp2 hybridization. The electron shifted from 3D to 4p has been clearly shown into the figure so that you can understand it well. Here in CuNH3 4 plus 2, we have hybridization is dsp2. It is an inner orbital complex because inner 3D orbital has been used. It is high spin complex and one unpaired electron present. So paramagnetic nature is mu b 1.73 bm. Now we are going to study about PtCl4 minus 2. Here you can see that the oxidation state of Pt is going to be, the oxidation state of Pt is going to be plus 2 because Cl is minus 4. So x minus 4 is equal to minus 2, and that is why x is plus 2. Thus in PtCl4, Pt is present as a Pt plus 2. The electronic configuration of Pt is an exceptional electronic configuration. We need to remember it. Pt Z is equal to 78. Xenon for a 14 5d9 6s2. Now when Pt turns as a Pt plus 2, 2 electron has to be removed. So one electron goes from 6s, another electron goes from 5d, and ultimately we have Pt plus 2 electronic configuration Xenon for a 14 5d8 6s0 and 6p0, my dear students. Here Cl minus is a weak ligand, but Pt is a large ion in size and make strong bond with the ligand. Thus, there is repulsion between, let us study this concept. There is repulsion between the electron of Pt plus 2, which is the central metal ion, and the electron of ligand, which is Cl minus, which breaks the degeneracy of dx square minus y square and dz square orbital as follow. Hence stabilizes the square planar structure. Please look at this, my dear students. This is the figure I have shown. The arrow upside shows the energy. We can see that T2G are dxy, dyz and dzx. We have Eg dx square minus y square and dz square. This degeneracy of dx square minus y square and dz square has been broken down. You can see that due to the repulsion between the Pt plus 2 ion electron and the electron present into the Cl minus ligand, this dz orbital has got the lower energy, and the energy of this dz square orbital become even lesser than the dxy orbital, and thus the electron get paired instead of the electron remain unpaired. So the 8 electrons which are present into the d orbital, these all become paired due to a particular repulsion that has been taken place because of the platinum plus 2 ion and the ligand Cl minus ion. So my dear students, due to this particular reason, that platinum and the other element of the same series, they make this dsp2 kind of hybridization. Due to this reason, the 5th row and the 6th row of the transition metal prefer to form the square planar complex. So the element belonging to the 5th row and 6th row of d orbital, or transition metals, they prefer to form square planar complex, and they always undergo dsp2 hybridization instead of sp3 due to hybridization. So even in Pt plus 2, you can see, my dear students, that as you have seen into Pt plus 2 before, that the Pt plus 2 electronic configuration is xenon for a 14 5d8, where these 8 electrons have got 2 unpaired electrons and 6 paired electrons. These 2 unpaired electron again turns into paired electron due to the strong repulsion between the Pt plus 2 ion and the ligand ion, and that is why when PtCl4 minus 2 is made, my dear students, we have got 4 unpaired, we have got 4 pair of paired electron and one electron 5d vacant. Using this vacant 5d electron, the hybridization DsP2 takes place, and for Cl minus ion donate their electron into the vacant DsP2 hybrid orbitals, and thus we can have the square planar PtCl4 minus ion, which is represented here. You can see on your screen that PtCl4 minus 2 become a square planar complex. Here hybridization is DsP2, which is an inner orbital complex. It is a low spin complex because all the electrons have been paired. So the complex does not have any paired electrons. So all the no unpaired electrons, and that is why it is the diamagnetic in nature. And this is how we can understand the square planar shape of the PtCl4 minus. Now we are going to study about the limitations of the crystal field theory, my dear students. So we have studied a good amount of around 22 compounds we have studied in detail. I have tried to cover up almost all the compounds which are given either in the theory or the in-text or the exercise of this particular chapter. So this is how we can understand the combination of the valence bond theory as well as the crystal field theory. But now there are Hello, dear students, can you hear me? Dear students, can you hear me? Dear students, can you hear me? Am I audible, dear students? क्या आप लोग मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं? Students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your
Yes,
reply.
sir.
So, let us study the limitations of the crystal field theory. Crystal field theory suggests that the ligands are point charges. So anionic ligand should exert greatest splitting effect, but anionic species are at weak field end of the electrochemical series, which proves that the assumption of crystal field theory that the ligands are point charge proves wrong. बच्चों, हमने देखा कि क्रिस्टल फील्ड थ्योरी में एक पोस्टुलेट थी जिसमें इन्होंने ये क्रिस्टल फील्ड थ्योरी में ये पोस्टुलेट किया गया था कि जो आयन्स हैं वो पॉइंट चार्ज है, पर अगर वो पॉइंट चार्ज होते तो उनका रिपल्शन जो लिगेंड न्यूट्रल है उनसे ज्यादा होना चाहिए था, पर हमने देखा कि कार्बोनाइल लिगेंड विच इज द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट लिगेंड वो सबसे ज्यादा रिपल्शन करता है, जबकि आयोडीन या Cl माइनस या Br माइनस वो तो वीक लिगेंड है, वो रिपल्शन उतना ज्यादा नहीं करते. दैट इज व्हाई वी कैन से दैट the suggestion given by the crystal field theory that the ions are the point charge has been proved wrong. Same way, CFT does not take into the account of the covalent character of bonding between the ligand and the central atom. So my dear students, this crystal field theory does not find the bond covalent. It always considers the bond as an ionic bond, and that is even a problem because we can see that there is a covalent character in the bond which cannot be avoided. To overcome the weaknesses of the crystal field theory, two new theories were proposed. They are either the ligand field theory, which is known as LFT, or the another theory which is known as the molecular orbital theory. So this is how we can study about those theories in detail in future or into the higher classes. Now my dear students, I am going to explain you about the color in the coordination compound. So let us study about the color into the coordination compounds. You know, transition metal complexes show wide range of colors. That is what we have studied into the D block chapter. It means these coordinate compounds absorb some color of light from the visible region, and thus they look colored with the leftover light from the visible region. So from visible region they absorb some of the light. When they absorb some of the light come out, and then the color of that particular light that come out is the color of the compound. So complementary color is the color left over when some portion of the visible light has been absorbed by the compound. Here with the circle, my dear students, I have tried to explain you the complementary colors of each other. So see, if start from the yellow orange, or if we start from the yellow, then the violet is the complementary color for yellow. Yellow orange is the complementary color for indigo. Orange is the complementary color for blue. Orange red is the complementary color for blue green. Red is the complementary color for green. Red violet is the complementary color for yellow green. So when one light has been absorbed, the opposite light or opposite color would be the color of the compound. Dear students, can you hear me? Dear students, can you hear me? Dear students, can you hear me?